I might have a slight UFO problem. Hello Thistledown gang, it's delightful to have you back here if you've already been here. If not, it's wonderful that you actually made your way here. That is fantastic. This is the cupboard in which a lot of my crafting stuff lives. I dragged all of my UFOs out of that cupboard in search of some that I could do without a sewing machine, because my sewing machine is broken. And I talked about that in another video that you might see, I think, there. So on my quest for UFOs that I could do without a sewing machine, because I freely admit that I don't have the patience of a Bernadette Banner. I am not a reconstructive historian. I am just a girl who likes making her own stuff. I can't be bothered to make a whole prairie dress by hand. I mean, I think I can, because at some point I will run out of things to do by hand comfortably, and then I will probably tackle the big things, but maybe that will be when I have a new old sewing machine, and that would be really nice. So I thought, hey, why not KonMari this thing, declutter a bit, and show you all of this mess. Oh god. I actually have a few of those things that I would like to make videos of, and you can tell me in the comments which ones you are most interested in. And maybe I'll actually, you know, throw out a UFO or two. That would be so great, because I have this thing. It's called the project book, and this is where I record how much fabric a project took, because I really would like to track that. Because over there is my wait, let me show you. Over there, this is the fabric cupboard, and it's pretty full. But this is a can of wyverns I'm not willing to open yet. And on the other hand, I have this, which is the UFO tally, which looks like this. And I get a done for everything I've done and for everything I've thrown out. For this thing's sake, I hope that I'll just be able to, you know, say goodbye to some of these, because I have a lot. So, let's get started. This is actually a kind of, I think I should just put the hand sewing things up on the cupboard, so I can tackle those first. This is supposed to go into a skirt that I really like, but the lining was far smaller than the skirt for some reason, and I wanted to make it a bit wider so that it actually fits over my hips, as does the skirt. And the skirt is fantastic, but the lining was bad, and I just I just opened up the seam in the lining and wore it like that for a while. But at some point I kind of wanna really fix that, and that's what that is for, and I can actually do that by hand. This absolutely fantastic thing is the remnant of a dress that I once got from a friend. The dress itself was, so the skirt part of the dress wasn't really flattering, so at some point I cut it off and made a semi-crop top thing out of it, because I really adore this prairie style. And then I had to admit that I'm not wearing it as a top. And now I'm thinking about making something else from it, so basically this will be the top of a dress, and then I'll hopefully find the rest of this fabric that I might still have, and actually use it again on the bottom of the dress, so it ties the whole thing together. And this rather goes into the things I'll do when I have a sewing machine again pile. Keepers, maybes, and sewing. Okay, this thing is a bra with a fake blood stain on it. And before you say, what the heck girl, it gets even worse, because this belongs to this, which is a German foot football thingy. I found this shortly after Germany lost the World Championship, which was great because this was very cheap. And when I brought this home, everyone around me said, "What the heck do you want with a football shirt? You don't like football, at least not watching it, and you're not really patriotic." And this is actually a thing I might still make a video about, because I want to make a new lab bra for myself, which is basically this, covered in this and made to look like it's old. And it's very comfortable and also enables a girl to go topless. Another thing I'm definitely making a video about is this skirt. I made that within my Lolita phase. Basically, it is a circus red skirt. I love circus styles and I love reds. And I still really like the idea of this, but it is not perfectly done. The reds are kind of blurry. They were stencils, and the fabric is horrible. Far too stiff. And the only really good thing about this is the cut of the saddle. I will actually keep that one. And the idea with this one is to actually remake it. So I will make a video on that, maybe 2 or 3 videos, depending on how much time that actually is, because it will be a bit more complicated. But I can actually start that before I have another sewing machine. What is a cute robin's eggs blue summer dress? And I'm not quite sure what I wanted to do with this, so I'm putting it on the maybe pile. This goes directly to the machine pile. I had a haul where I showed this off, and this I want to make bigger, and I think that is interesting enough to make a video about it. This is one of the very, very few LARP pieces I have bought in the last few years because I was desperate and I needed something fast. It is just a bodice kind of thing. I'm not sure what I wanted to do with it. Maybe alter it so that it fits my daily styles better. Okay, let's just continue with this box. These belts are a project I wanted for summer. I'm going to make myself some sort of holster for swimming, so I can actually have a pocket while I'm swimming for things I find in the lake or in the sea or whatever, wherever I'm swimming, while still wearing a bathing suit. And I think that is interesting enough for a video, but this is nothing I will do right away. This is a banner I made for my for when I'm tabling at the local role-playing convention with my illustrations. It does say my pen name on there, but I'm really not happy with it. I think I want to remake it. And it actually has some machine stitching. It's just 2 layers of fabric stitched together and with open edges, because I actually like this look for this. And it has the machine stitching to outline the banner. But I think I'll remake this with my rebranding going to come anyway. So this I need a machine for, goes over there. I mean, no, it doesn't, because I can actually start it without a machine. This extremely horrible thing, isn't it fantastic, is actually for one of my lab characters, and I think it needs a button replacement, and I've probably a few other things that I'll still have to figure out, so for now it's going on the maybe pile. Another 70s-ish prairie thing that I've had for ages. I actually got this when I was 18 or something. It was a gift, basically, because at a church bazaar they didn't sell it, and I have cropped it before, and I've actually had sewn it to a tank top, but that didn't work out, and I'm still kind of looking for an opportunity to do something with this. I'm not quite sure yet what, So it goes on the not now pile. I have a leather vest that I bought in the Netherlands. It is missing a button and it is far too large, but I'm not quite sure if I can do this by hand or if I want my machine or if I want a machine for this. I think I could do it by hand. So it will for now go on the hand sewing pile that I will still have to look at again because it's unrealistic that I do all of this at once. Same goes for this. Also a waistcoat that is too big for me or not waisted, not tailored enough for me, but it has this fantastic sheen to it and it's kind of weird but in a good way. And I really want to keep this, but I'll have to tailor it so it goes up there. Tailoring is actually something that I like doing by hand because it's kind of meditative. It's not something that I mean, sure it takes time, but hand stitching allows for a bit more precision actually than machine stitching does, and I don't really mind it because it's most of the time that's just, I mean, like half a meter, or in whole it's just like a meter of a seam, so that doesn't really bother me. I can do that while watching an episode of something. Okay, let's just continue with the thing I'm sitting on. Is that all of it? Almost. So this was a thing I already started to film actually. It's a dress that I took the sleeves off, and this is again a thing I wanted to make wider, especially around the chest. But I'm not really feeling it anymore, I must admit. I really like the fabric. It's this beautiful herringbone. I guess it's linen. The way it crumbles, it's linen. And I wanted to make it somewhat Edwardian. An Edwardian house dress basically, but in a modern way-ish. So I think I will actually put this on the this can go pile and see if one of my friends wants it and wants to continue making it, or you know, just want the sleeveless dress. And if not, I'll think about it again. But in itself, this is a really nice dress, and somebody actually made it by hand. There's a handmade by thing inside, and I'm kind of sad that I will never finish this video, but I really don't, it doesn't spark joy, so it can go. Yay! Wait, I gotta take the project book and... where's the book? I actually note down if I've thrown out something, because this actually is interesting for me. Have I thrown it out or have I actually finished it? This beautiful thing is actually also from a haul, I think the haul that I linked before, and it is a beautiful country style dress that I've already replaced the buttons off, and I filmed that, and I think I will film the rest too, because this needs longer sleeves, so it will look a bit more, I don't know, for me a long black velvet dress with short sleeves doesn't make sense, and so we have to change that, but I really don't want to do that by hand, I guess. Especially not with the buttonholes I'm planning to do on those sleeves. And this is actually an old velvet blazer I'm going to take apart for that project. That I think I thrifted at some point for €1 or something. This sweater, I kind of feel like I want to make a thing with that, kind of a sweater upcycle thing. It's also genuine wool, which is always a big plus for me, and I like the color. I think I might have an idea for that, but it is definitely a not now, and I want to film that, so no spoilers. Fast fashion, this pullover that was already cropped when I bought it at H&M. And it has, oh, it has sleeves from another fast fashion H&M thing pinned to it. I'm not quite sure what the artist wants to say with that. I have really no idea what I wanted to do with that, what I wanted to tell myself with this idea. But I want to make it a bit tighter because it is loose on me, even though this is a size XS. This is an extra small and it's still loose on me. I have no idea how that looks on a person that is actually extra small. And, that is majorly unflattering with my body type, and I don't want that. But this I actually want to do with a machine. Why do I have this? Oh yeah, these weird jeans, which were part of a thrifting adventure I had quite a while ago. Mom jeans, but not in the good way. So I'm going to change those very much. They first need to be dyed and then changed. So I guess I can just put them on that pile to dye them first and then put them on the machine pile because I'm not doing that seam by hand. I have no idea what I wanted with these doilies. Really, none at all. So these are going back to my doily pile, which is also huge. So now we have an empty box, which is nice. We have 2 empty boxes now and we still have a lot of stuff. We're about halfway through. Ugh. Next up we have these Primark, I'm very ashamed of that, knockoffs of Vans basically. It's the overall shape of a Van shoe. And I wanted to make basically ballerina shoes out of those. Maybe I'll do a thing, maybe I'll make a video what I'm going to do with those, but I think they'll first go into the maybe pile because I'm not quite sure about them. Something else from my Lolita phase. This bodyline dress. I absolutely love this print, except for the polka dots. I have no idea what the obsession of bodyline with polka dots is. They put them everywhere and I really don't like polka dots. Yeah, I really like it. I already removed the shirring from the front because that looked horrible with my chest, but it still is a lot of cheap lace and I think I saw potential in it at some point, but I really don't know how and why. So this is going over there and that is another point for me. This is this one is interesting. This is a dress I made out of antique linen. This is actually an antique shift or slip dress, and this is part of an antique tablecloth. I dyed both of them with onions, and this needs a re-dye because I'm not quite happy with how these parts turned out, and then it needs lacing up through the sides. It's very Victorian fairy, pseudo-Victorian fairy like, but yeah, this needs a re-dye, but that I can't do without a machine. I wanted to dye anyway. We have this, which is part of a thrift fix video I will continue making as soon as I do have a sewing machine again, because I started it with a sewing machine and I think it would feel weird continuing without. I also have this, which is, I mean, it's not flattering. I'm not really wearing it. I do like the color, but again, I'm not wearing it. And I think it's only in this pile because I desperately wanted to keep it, and that is, again, stupid. I'm throwing that out. I'm very good at throwing out stuff this year. Again, with the prairie neo-pre-Raphaelite dresses. This thing. I actually very much like it. It was a thrift find some years ago. I really love the dark blackberry color, basically, but it is woefully unflattering. I'm not quite sure what to do with it, but I want to do something with it, and thus for now it goes onto the machine pile, because that will probably take a lot of sewing, and also I'm not really motivated about that right now. These used to be boring jeans, but I decided that I don't want boring jeans, and I dyed them, and then I painted on the stripes. And yeah, this is basically a spoiler for what will partially happen with the jeans I showed you before. But I think these have seen their best days, and I will just toss them in the wash for now and then ask a friend of mine if she wants them. I already replaced the pockets, but I think I just threw it in here without washing it, which is stupid, and so this is going into the wash and then away. And we have another thing, actually the last thing from my Lolita phase, which is this bodyline skirt. I really like it because I just like clothing with food on it. I should have far more of that. This used to be a JSK. I will link the blog post I made about that in the description. That I made into a skirt, but because that would be more likely to be worn, and I think I wanted to actually shorten it a bit and then take off the super cheap horrible lace and put something else on there. But that is something, again, that I won't do without a machine, especially because it is a tiny bit stretchy, but not really, and that's kind of annoying. But yeah, we are actually through the boxes, but not through all of my UFOs. So we do have a blouse here that is too large for me, that I got from a friend. But yeah, it is too large, it doesn't really look good on me. I tried to cinch it in, which is usually a good way to see if it would look better if I tailored it. It didn't. But I am kind of intrigued by the really large collar. So I kind of want to make something with that, but I'm not quite sure what yet. So that goes to the not now pile. And then there's this thing here. This is actually something that consists of more than just one piece. And this is supposed to be a Victorian Edwardian inspired apron. I had already made part of this when I realized that some of the fabric had really unsightly stains on it, and I have no idea where they come from and what they are. I tried to bleach it, I tried to wash it, not necessarily in that order, and it just didn't work. And there is actually somewhere another bit of that apron around, and I have no idea where, which is rather bad, because I think the ghost ferrets took it. I shall have to find another large piece of linen in about that quality to finish this. This is on the not now pile because this is right now this is giving me a headache, and it annoys me, and it's going first into the wash and then back into the fabric cupboard. We are actually no, we're not almost done. This is a men's shirt that is too large for me. I have a certain project in mind what to make from this. Also, for another video, so no spoilers, this is going to the machine pile. We also have another oh my god, wool jumper, and this one is so soft. It is so absurdly soft. I actually tried to make a thing from this once, which is why it has this ridiculously large boat neck, and it used to be a turtleneck. This is from a nana, the one that is still alive, and it is so ridiculously soft. I think it's Angora or something. Ugh, I could do this all day. And I think I want to make something from it. I do have an idea, and I think this will go with the other two pullover sweater things that I've had so far in this in this decluttering video. And this I can actually do without a sewing machine. I think this is actually something that I can do very well without a sewing machine, so it's going up here. This pile of fabric I think fits very well together. It is this old bedsheet that might actually need another coat of dyeing, and then we have this, which is actually from my Amsterdam haul, but it was really not flattering and I tried to give it away, but nobody else would have it, and so I decided to rather keep the fabric and make something fantastic from it. And some pieces of an antique linen tablecloth, and the idea is to make a prairie dress from this. I did find this at the thrift store. It is too small for me, but a friend of mine is getting this, and I absolutely fell in love with the cut, and I took the pattern from this dress, adjusted it so that it would fit me, and now I am making my own version of this. And the idea is to make it from these fabrics, but I am not doing that without a machine. I absolutely adore Laura Ashley, but I have no idea what they thought when they made a bright fire engine red corduroy sailor dress with a drop waist. And I do adore the sailor part and the corduroy part, and so I adjust the waist at some point by hand, by the way, and now I am in the... I actually want to do something to the sleeves so they won't look as bad on me, and of course I dyed it. Now it's this somewhere between maroon and oxblood colour, and I really like that. If you want to sue me for butchering a Laura Ashley dress, go along. I think it should spark joy, and this does spark joy because I got it from a friend. I really love it, but I want to wear it, and for that, in order to do that, it needs to actually be flattering. So yeah, I think this is going on the hand sewing pile, and last but certainly not least, I have another piece of velvet, and that is this weird thing. It is a purple frock coatish thing. So the things I want to do with this is, first of all, remove the faux fur from the neck and the sleeves, because I am not a fan of faux fur. I know that a lot of people think it's more ethical. I think it's microplastic, and I don't need that on my stuff. I want to actually take that off, maybe put on some real second-hand fur. If I feel like it, I do have some of that. It is all second-hand, so I think that is the best thing that you can do with old fur coats. Just use them again so that the animal hasn't died in vain. Then dye this whole thing, and also these need to go and be actually replaced by something a bit better. I mean, who combines lilac and brown? That is that even legal? This does not look good. And then tailor it a bit and maybe embroider it or something. It also has these neat little flappy pockets, and yeah, this was of course a thrift find. It was a magnificent one. It's somewhere between Sgt. Pepper's and Count von Fersen wannabe. It's fantastic. So those are I can actually put that to the non-sewing machine pile. I am going to slump here right now. So this is my UFO pile, dissected. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you saw a few projects and you might be interested in seeing on this channel. And I am very glad that I Then I found enough things that I can do without a sewing machine. So now we have to look at that maybe pile once more, but I'll do that off camera. And yeah, you might see these things again. I actually threw out 5 of my projects, and I'm very, very proud of that, because I am quite a project hoarder. And now I shall leave you for today. Be nice to yourself, be nice to others. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!